In the most holy name of Almighty God Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, to whom praises are forever due, and in the name of his last and most surely greatest apostle, our dear leader and teacher and perfect guide, the great Elijah Muhammad, I say unto you all in our nation's greetings of peace and the paradise of Islam alaikum. I want to say welcome to the Do for Self Academy Temple of Islam. It's been a while since we've had a broadcast, and I thought I'd try it, come back out and start teaching some more. We're not going to be long today. I decided I wanted to do a series on mental illness in the black community. I truly believe, matter of fact, I know that this is a subject that is taboo, for lack of a better word, but it's something that we need to confront in the community, and it's something that we need to confront now. I don't mean gloss over it. I mean to look at it and find out why it exists in an abundance. Our community is over flooded with this mental health crisis. It is affecting our children at a very alarming rate, and it appears that we will not be able to survive the onslaught of it. But we have a chance. We have a slight chance, and we can make it a great chance if we hold fast to the truth. I'm going to cover certain things from our dear leader and teacher and what he taught and what he left behind to guide us, to direct us, to alleviate us from this wicked world. And I think, praise be to Allah, matter of fact, I know that we have missed it so bad that it contributes mightily to the mental illness that has infiltrated our community. The very first subject I'm going to cover is taken from an article in the book Message to the Black Man titled The Breakup of the Old World. And I did this subject about 4 years ago, when we had a physical building in Richmond, Virginia. You got a lot of noise going on back there, brother, if you don't mind.
All right, brother.
Got a lot of noise. And this subject is titled The Breakup of the Old World, taken in the judgment section. I'm going to cover something from the breakup of the old world. I'm going to cover something from Help Self, What Must Be Done. Something from the opening, which is a prayer section. Something from the Bible, and also something from the Quran, and an article titled No Peace for the Wicked. If you go to our YouTube channel, the Do for Self Academy Temple of Islam, and you should search The Angry World, The Torment of the Righteous. The Angry World, The Torment of the Righteous. It's on the YouTube channel. The Angry World, The Torment of the Righteous. So this article taken from Message to the Black Man is titled The Breakup of the Old World. And I'm not going to do an article class here. However, this is just the first of a series, and I might do this series on mental illness for at least 90 days. I know it's going to be at least 90 days. What I mean by 90 days, not 90 days straight, but I mean for 3 months, I'm going to do this series at least once a week. Because I, for one, I'm subjected to it myself because I've run into so many people who suffers from it. especially in the Black Muslim community, especially in the religious community, in the conscious community. Um, Whatever we claim to believe in as Black people, this mental illness has taken over. And I'm going to explain to you why. In this article, The Breakup of the Old World, the messenger wrote, and this is the genesis of our mental illness. This is it right here. Okay? This is it. As we all know, this is the great war of Armageddon, a war between righteousness and evil, between Allah God and the devil. This is the old world going out and a new world coming in. If this is the breakup of the old world, then it must be replaced by what? The new world. If it's the breakup of the old world, it is also the breakup and the destruction of the old way of thinking. And it must be replaced with what? A new world of thought. The people of the old world must be removed to make room for a new people who are going to build this new world. I ask you to put your telephones on mute because I'm hearing a little background noise in your telephones. If you don't mind, I hope not to be long, and I want to open the floor for discussion afterwards. After every meeting, I decided to come back and start teaching, and I'll explain this to you later on when I'm able to converse with you one-on-one. But it's very important that you don't waste your time here, but it's more important that you don't waste mine. I am teaching because that's the promise that I gave Allah when I was going through cancer. I said, if you allow me to live, then this is what I'm going to do. Unfortunately, but I think it was necessary, I had to stop for almost 60 days because of my health. And there has been certain events in the last, I would say, 2.5 to 4 weeks that has been revealed to me that I need to start teaching again. This subject matter is of the utmost importance. This subject matter is of the utmost importance. The breakup of the old world. The messenger wrote, somebody just came on. If you don't mind, put your telephone on mute.
Katina.
Thank you for coming. Put your telephone on mute if you don't mind, sister. This is what he wrote. Our subject, Sister Katina, is mental illness in the Black community. Mental illness in the Black community. I'm not going to be long, but I'm not going to be wrong. He said, and I quote, all the mighty men of science and modern warfare have been called in an effort to devise instruments and weapons against God and the armies of heaven. I'm going to repeat this. The messenger Elijah Muhammad wrote, all the mighty men of science and modern warfare have been called in an effort to devise instruments and weapons against God and the armies of heaven. I consider myself a soldier in the army of Allah God. The fruit of Islam is the name given to the military training of the men that belong to Islam in North America. In other words, no so-called Negro would be able to adequately fight this war on the side of Allah God without going through this training. The black man must go through this military training in order to understand how to fight on the side with Allah God. It is important that he understands that in a very real way, because he must also understand that he, the black man, is Allah God. The reason why the world in general and the black man in particular is confronted and confounded by this mental illness is because for trillions of years, people have been worshiping the wrong God. So we must get the God right. And I'm not talking about just an individual person or a deity or some false fake make-believe ritual that we go through. I'm talking about the wisdom, the knowledge, and the understanding of the Supreme Lord of all the worlds. Every weapon of mass destruction that we are confronted with today comes out of the mind of some man or combination of men. When I say man, I'm speaking of a species which also includes the woman. So whatever knowledge that we house and that we are proud of, we have to go back and research where did we get it from. So this is what he said. He said, all the mighty men. So I don't waste time with people who are not mighty. I don't waste a lot of time with ignorant people, illiterate people trying to debate and argue with me over the truth, because they're just in the way. I want the mighty men to show up, the cream of the crop of this society. That's who I want to confront. Why? Because they are the ones who are devising the instruments to destroy me and my people. They have been called in an effort to devise instruments and weapons. These instruments and weapons they can be found in what we believe and what we accept as truth. He said that the nations of the earth are angry, and that the disbelievers and hypocrites of my people also are angry over the change of the old world to a new world of justice and righteousness, causing much spiritual darkness and misunderstanding to fall upon them. That is your mental illness. Your disbelief and your hypocrisy when it comes to the changing of the old world to the new world. You know and you believe in your heart, or you know that Elijah Muhammad is right, but you disbelieve it. That's another sign of mental illness. You disbelieve in that which you know is true. You know that the white man is the devil. You know that the white man is evil. You know that the white man is on his way out. You can see all of these things. It's very clear. But yet you seem to believe that he can change. And this makes you and I batshit crazy. And anyone that takes on this belief system, it's going to run you insane. And you're going to pass this insanity on to your children and your children's children and your children's children for 5, 10 generations. And the generations is 20 years? So 100, 200 years. We had been dealing with this mental illness. Why? Because we're double-minded. And the scripture said that a double-minded man is what? Unstable in all his ways. And see, we're not resisting the devil. And as long as you don't resist the devil is not going to flee. So the disbelievers and the hypocrites are angry over the changing of the old world to a new world of justice and righteousness. And this is the cause of their spiritual darkness and misunderstanding. Spiritual darkness and misunderstanding is the cause of this mental illness in the black community. At the root of it is that we are double-minded in our affairs. We don't want to build a world of our own. We don't want to take the responsibility to be free and an independent nation. But yet we complain. Every year we hold festivals and programs and meetings and lectures, and we spend an inordinate amount of money and resources trying to find a place in this world. How are you trying to find a place in this world when this world is destined to be destroyed? By who? By the armies of Allah. And what are we going to use to destroy this old world? We're going to use wisdom, power, force, authority, knowledge, and understanding. And when enough of us are able to obtain and acquire this knowledge, we will be on our way to removing the shackles of slavery, suffering, and death, and begin the great task and the tremendous task of doing something for ourselves. This is taken from the breakup of the old world in the book titled Message to the Black Man. Okay, I'm going to another article titled Help Self, What Must Be Done with the Negroes. And in this article, the great messenger of Allah, he points out that since I've been brought in chains to the shores of America, our brain power, our labor, our wealth, our ideas, and all our resources have been taken, given, and spent toward building and adding to the civilization of the white man. And he said that the acquisition of land has been the factors for more wars. And why do we need land? We need land in order to build our own independence. Without land, there can be no independence. Without land, there can be no future. You say, well, a lot of black people have land. Of course. But what they don't have is the right knowledge. So I'm out here in rural Virginia. I'm surrounded by black people that have hundreds and thousands of acres of land. But they are far worse than the people in the cities, in the urban areas, because they got long decades of intentional feuding, of self-hatred, because they never really removed themselves from servitude state in a very physical and real way. The black people in the cities, they are more emotional about their hatred for one another. They are more emotional. But the black people in the rural areas, they are more calculated. And this hatred is like travel. They pass it on from one generation to the next. And you wouldn't know this if you weren't out here. So I tell people, praises be to Allah, I have enough wisdom in my head to last us about 500 to 1,000 years, just in my head. And all of that comes from making the decision to move out here. Praises be to Allah. So he said that the acquisition of land has been the factors for more wars than any other cause. This is what he said. He said land is the basis for freedom and independence. Without the people having their own land, they can never become free and independent. And if we are never free and independent, then where's this new world going to come from? Land is not just to grow food and raise livestock. Land is to grow a new people. And this new people, they will bring about a change in civilization. They are going to bring about the advent or the genesis of this new world. They're the ones going to do it. We are going to die. The groundhogs will be delivering our mail. So no matter what state of mind that you are in right now, you have to work hard to suppress your mental condition and take in this supreme wisdom at every opportunity. And you have to be taught. Taught by who? By me or someone like me. I'm going to repeat it. You have to be taught by myself, Jasir Hassan Abdul Kabir, or someone like me. You must be able to identify the 5% poor righteous teachers. Because the messenger said that those who refuse to help us build our own independence, these people are traitors. They are tools. They are toms. They are spies. These are defectors. So you better be able to identify them immediately. And all you got to do is bring up this subject of independence, of building a new world. And once you bring this subject up, the manifestation of the mental illness is going to amplify itself. I'm about to bring this to a close. I'm not going to be long today. This is going to be a 3-month program. So we have people of our kind. They go through anxiety, depression. We're watching our children. We're losing our children at an alarming rate. The sexual revolution has grown out of control. With the advent of the modern technology, modern equipment, evil is moving at a speed so fast that you can hardly go outside and not be confronted by it. You can barely get on the internet and not be confronted by some type of evil. Even that seems innocent has a high content of evil. Because you have ignorant people that can get on social media and they develop 10,000, 15,000 followers, and the only thing they're doing is showing their naked asses and being stupid, talking about sport and play. Nothing of substance. The opening. So I've given you help self what must be done, and the breakup of the old world. And then I'm going to cover something from the opening. And I've given you a couple of scriptures. The Bible, dealing with a double-minded man is unstable in all his affairs, in all his ways. To resist the devil, and the devil will flee. All of this are ingredients that add to mental illness in the black community. You're double-minded. You know that this is true, but yet you disbelieve it. Why you disbelieve it? Because you won't let the 5% teach you. You take the teachings of the 10% bloodsuckers on face value. So you're happy about your education. You're happy about your accomplishments in this world. You're elated about what you have accomplished and what your parents and your grandparents. And we all have some form. And then you're elated about what your children have done. My children works for this company. My children, no, your children is a bunch of damn slaves. Because you pushed them toward slavery. Like we were pushed toward slavery by our parents. The opening. So in this article titled The Opening, the messenger gave us a prayer. And in this prayer, it gives us a clear and precise guide on how to overcome this situation. And he said, and I quote, "The touch of Islam." What is Islam? It's freedom, justice, and equality. What is Islam? It's separation from the devil. What is Islam? It is to build our own world. What is Islam? It's submission to do the will of God. Allah. Well, you going against the will of Allah when you refuse to build your own world. But yet you call yourself Muslim. This is another sign of mental illness. Islam is not a religion. It is the very natural order of the creation. You cannot tell me today that it's unnatural for the black man to desire to have his own world after 400 and some odd years being strung up in slavery, suffering, and death. Of course, that's what you are advocating. This is why you're batshit crazy now, and your children are crazy, and your mama and your daddy were crazy, and your grandparents were crazy, along with mine. And we're going to continue to produce crazy people because we refuse to do the necessary work. He said the touch of this Islam makes the lost found have a sense of dignity, and for the first time he feels that he should do something for self. And he desires to rid himself of the things that hinder him. He therefore now prays the following prayer. And I'm going to end in this prayer. I'm not going to read it right now because I'm going to end with it when we close out this meeting. This is also taken from the book Message to the Black Man. But he said that we should repeat the above prayer 7 times a day. For it sums up our greatest hindrance to freedom and independence. We must get away from the idea of depending on others to do for us what we can do for self. Fear, cowardice, and laziness are our greatest enemies, is what he said. He said we are brave enough to fight to preserve the white race's independence, but not brave for self and kind. Shake such shackles off and face the consequences like men, and we all will be free. This is what he said. So to build, there are consequences that we must face in order to build our own independence. We don't want to face the consequences. Why? Fear, cowardice, and laziness, along with envy and jealousy. These are the things that are hindering us. I'm about to bring this to a close. I told you I won't gonna be long today. Nope, not gonna be long at all. This article is titled "No Peace for the Wicked." No peace for the wicked. Who are the wicked? The wicked are those who follow and obey the wicked God. Who is this wicked God? This wicked God is none other than the white man. That's who the wicked God is. The wicked God is none other than the white man. I'm going to repeat this for the people in the back. The wicked God is none other than the white man. So if the white man don't have no peace, and we don't have no peace. Why? Because we believe and follow him. This is taken from an article, October the 21st, 1966, in Muhammad Speaks newspaper. Warning to you who take the devil's promises to be true, by Elijah Muhammad, Message of Allah. This is taken from the Holy Quran, 14:22. And the devil will say, when the matter is decided, surely Allah promised you a promise of truth, and I promise you, then failed you. And I had no authority over you except that I called you and you obeyed me. So blame me not, but blame yourselves. I cannot come to your help, nor can you come to my help. I deny your associating me with Allah before. Surely for the unchaste, it's a painful chastisement. The messenger went on to write, he said, here we have what the devil will say on the day of resurrection to those who follow and believe in him and who depend upon good to come from his promises. But when the chastisement of Allah comes to both the devil and his followers, then the devil will deny that he has misled his followers, and he will put the blame on those who followed him. For he will say, I had no authority over you except that I called you and you obeyed me, so blame me not, but blame yourselves. The message said this warning is directed to the so-called lost found members of the Aboriginal Nation of ours, the Black Nation. For this work is going on now. The white man, the devil, is making promises to our people now. He causes our people to believe that he is able to bring them peace of mind and contentment, money, good homes, and social equality as a member of the white race. I'm not going to read the whole article. And this is the problem. All these civil rights Negroes, Martin Luther King, Harry Belafonte, all these actors and sports people, even the people who followed the messenger during his physical life, once he physically passed away, over 90% of them defected. I'm going to repeat this. Over 90% of them defected. And this is why we have this problem today. So you can barely find the light of truth today because of this darkness. And I decided to take this rostrum again because that's the promise that I gave to Allah. And all I own in this world is my name and my word, and I shall give my life before my word shall fail. So I'm going to bring this first portion to a close. And this is just a small taste, a small smidget of what's to come. Because for 3 months, I'm going to dive into this subject. This is just a little small introduction. It's a sip of what's to come in the future. I leave you as I came before you. We're going to close out in prayer, but before we pray, I want to open the floor for questions and commentary. But I'm going to leave you as I came before you in the name of Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, and in the name of his last and greatest apostle, our dear leader and teacher and perfect guide, the great Elijah Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum. You can take your telephones off mute right now. And you got any questions and or comments, please do so now.